Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1. Rebirth Translator. Dragon Boat Translation Editor. Dragon Boat Translation. In the dark room, Qin Sheng opened her eyes. She could still feel the sharp pain in her heart. Not long ago, there was a knife stab there. She could not forget the feeling of the sharp blade piercing into her heart. The dense pain drilled into her heart and pierced into her bone marrow. Lying on the ground, her blood kept flowing out. It was getting harder and harder for her to breathe. The last person she saw was Qin Churu, who was also lying on the ground with her eyes wide open. Qin Churu was dead. Qin Sheng pulled out a knife from her heart and stabbed it at her, choosing to die together with her. Qin Churu was once Qin Sheng's younger sister, and she was also the person she trusted the most in this world. However, it was her who squeezed out all of her value and wanted her life in the end. Qin Churu had used her to get close to Fu Hanchuan, she had used her to become a master painter, she had used her to become a movie queen. She had used her to develop the Qin real estate into one of the top 500 companies in the world. Qin Churu had taken all the glory in her arms. On the surface, she appeared innocent and harmless, but everything she had done had put Qin Sheng to death. Jealous of her talent in painting, Qin Churu used a trick to break her hand. In the end, Qin Sheng had no value. Qin Churu had poisoned her food and water with slow-acting poison. Every time Qin Sheng recalled something, her hand would grab tightly onto the bedsheet, and her heart was filled with monstrous hatred. Qin Churu had destroyed her, stolen her family, and taken everything from her. What about now? Wasn't she dead? Why was she still living here? Was it Qin Churu who saved her and wanted to torture her again? Qin Sheng calmed down. No, Qin Churu would never save her. She had also killed Qin Churu, and Qin Churu was dead. Only then did Qin Sheng take a good look at the surroundings. The dilapidated brick house, the moldy quilt, and a bed that was not even tall enough for her were very familiar. Feng family. Perhaps it was because she had not spoken for a long time, but Qin Sheng's voice was a little hoarse. She clutched her heart. She would never forget this place for the rest of her life, because she had once lived in this house for 17 years. Everything that had happened here had become a nightmare that she would never forget for the rest of her life. Why would she come back here now? Qin Sheng's brows were tightly furrowed. At this moment, an impatient female voice appeared at the door. Damn girl! Why aren't you up yet? Let me tell you, if you make your sister wait for too long, I will not let you off. Shen Mei wore an apron and walked in. When she saw Qin Sheng sitting on the bed, Shen Mei became even angrier. Why aren't you up yet? You have a fever and have been lying on the bed for 2 days. Do you really think you are a young miss? Bah, you are just a cheap slut that I torture. Qin Sheng was running a fever. Shen Mei couldn't bear to part with the money she had to pay the doctor to get the medicine, so she let Qin Sheng sleep on the bed for 2 days. Shen Mei wiped her hands on the apron on her body. She's already here. Hurry up and clean up. Hearing this, Qin Sheng's heart sank, and her face turned cold. It seemed that she had been reborn, back to the day she was brought back to the Qin family. Seeing that Qin Sheng had not moved, Shen Mei became impatient. Are you still waiting for me to serve you? A burning smell came from the kitchen. My fish. The Feng family was very poor. Shen Mei had to count her days and eat fish every day. It was considered a relatively luxurious thing. At this moment, the fish was burnt. Shen Mei blamed it on Qin Sheng. You wretched girl, you're really unlucky. Nothing good has happened to you ever since you came to my house. Shen Mei left while cursing. Qin Sheng got up from the bed. It had been 2 days since she had eaten anything. There was meat, vegetables, and white rice on the table in the living room. Qin Sheng couldn't finish a bowl of rice after eating. During the 17 years she had been in the Feng family, Shen Mei was reluctant to give her food. Her stomach capacity was already very small. Even if she starved for 2 days, she could only eat a bowl of white rice. A man in a suit walked in and asked, "Is it done?" Shen Mei had already scooped up the fish. When she heard the man's words, she walked out of the kitchen and smiled apologetically. Right away. Once the man left, Shen Mei glared at Qin Sheng again. Damn girl, hurry up. Qin Sheng did not want to stay in the Feng family either. She returned to her room and simply packed her things. She didn't have many things, so it didn't take long for her to pack them up. Shenmei and the others were already waiting outside the courtyard when Qin Sheng walked out. Shenmei fiercely warned, "You wretched girl, when you return to the Qin family, you must treat your sister well. If it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have been able to return to the Qin family either. If she tells you to go east, you mustn't go west. Do you understand?" Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.